Welcome once again to Digging Deeper with Backyard Farmer. I'm Kim Todd, and together we will unearth the biggest topics in Nebraska's gardening world. Today we will be looking at some of the most important insects on the planet. Our pollinators make it possible for us to eat almost everything that comes out of the garden. You know, it's just amazing, really, to see the amount of interest that has been generated pretty much probably across at least the United States, if not the planet, in bugs, in insects, and particularly the ones that are pollinators. And I think there are probably, Judy, a lot of misconceptions. So let's talk a little bit about what is a pollinator.
Great. Okay, so a pollinator is an animal that can move pollen from the male part of the plant, or the anther, to the female part, or the stigma, and that causes fertilization to occur, and that results in fruit or seeds. And that's how the plant benefits from that pollinator. But the pollinator benefits from getting nectar and pollen rewards from the plant.
So the real misconception is probably that it has to be a bee.
Yes, that's correct. There are a lot of insects that can pollinate a plant, but bees are the most effective pollinator because they are so furry, because they've got little hairs that can gather that pollen and more effectively transfer them from one plant to another. But yes, we've got other insects that have hairs, maybe not as fuzzy, but there are flies and beetles and even butterflies that can pollinate.
And are they after, what are they after exactly? Are they after the pollen? Are they, we hear nectar. So what's the difference between they want the they need to transfer the pollen,
Yes.
They want the nectar?
Right, they want both. So nectar is a carbohydrate source, so it's their energy source. They need that to fly, to move, to do the things that they need in order to gather the materials for nesting. They get protein from pollen, and so this is what the pollinators and a lot of the bees are gathering. They're collecting pollen, feeding on it, or feeding their brood with it. So pollen is their protein or their meat source, and then nectar is their carbohydrate source.
So anybody who's on like a paleo diet could eat just pollen?
I don't know about that.
Probably not.
If you were a bee, yeah.
All right. So Mary Jane, you have the plant part of the pollinators. So talk a little bit about what do those pollinators want to visit, and what do we do to attract them into our landscapes?
Well, you know, they need different plants, so we need to provide plants that are blooming in the spring, in the summer, and the fall. So it's real important to have diversity. Having annual flowers, you know, like sunflowers and zinnias are really important, especially if you're starting a new habitat. Maybe your perennials aren't blooming yet. Then you need herbs. They like the flowers, but more importantly is the foliage, because that's what the caterpillars are going to feed on for the butterflies. So they're real important. So parsley and dill should be added. And then you need perennials. There's a lot of different things to pick from for perennials. Trees, shrubs, all are important for pollinators. And to have that diversity and that blooming through the growing season is real important.
All right, so you mentioned one of the real issues with pollinators, and that would be if you want the bee, you've got to deal with the caterpillar, right? Or the larva, or the butterfly, or something is going to be damaging the produce. So how do we deal with one effectively to get the other? The damage threshold, do we just, because you can't really pick an insecticide if you're really going to go that direction to pluck off one thing. Is that correct? What would you do?
Well, I try and encourage people to, you know, maybe lower your expectations a little bit. And it's hard, especially when you've put all that work into that landscape. Or, you know, if you are going to have the butterflies, you need the caterpillars. So plant extra dill, plant extra parsley, and share, because there's plenty to go around. And then once you see those insects in your yard, you know, I go out into my landscape. I try every night, but at least once a week, just to see what's new out there. And it's so fun, especially if you have kids like Jody and I do, or Judy and I do, where you go out and look and see what's out there, and it's just so fun. So after a while, you're looking for the insects. You're letting some of those pristine garden dreams kind of go to the wayside because you've got new dreams, you've got new things you're seeing, and it's so fun. And so it's sometimes hard to make that change, but it's worth it. It's for the health of your landscape. It's for your health too. So it's important.
So Judy, people are asking questions about how to attract pollinators and specific pollinators into their landscapes. We got a couple questions this week, in fact, for Backyard Farmer about mason bees. So what are the most common pollinators, and what should people who really don't want to do UNLV lab things or have a bumblebee nest, what should they do?
Right. So actually, there are, there's about 20,000 species of bees in the world, 4,000 in North America, but we in Nebraska probably have about 400 to 500. We're still working on trying to figure out what those species are. But there's a lot of variety in their life history, their foraging behaviors, their preferences. So we encourage people to plant a lot, be very thoughtful about your plantings, about diversifying when those plants are blooming, whether they're producing nectar or pollen for those bees, and also consider those plants like Mary mentioned, there's need for host plants for the caterpillars, for the butterflies, but there's also need for nesting material for those bees. So consider that some of those damages that you see that the insects are causing on your roses or on your other plants, they could be these beautiful little bees that are utilizing those plant materials for nesting materials. So the damage does happen in the garden, but it doesn't have to be seen as damage. It can be seen as really cool stuff. For example, you've got the mason bee here, and they will nest in stems. Yes, and they're called mason bees.
Tilt that just a little bit more.
There
Perfect.
you go.
Perfect.
Here, these are your mason bees, and these are your leafcutter bees, and these are really, really cool examples of stem nesting bees. You can basically drill a hole in a wood block and attract your pollinators to your garden. And so these holes can vary in diameter. Sometimes they're anywhere from 3/8 to an inch to 3/32. They can be even as wide as half of an inch. But the varying hole size will attract these bees of different sizes. And then you can, with your kids and with your family, actually see what types of bees are nesting in your little domiciles, because mason bees will use mud. Resin bees will use resin, and this is actually an old nest from last year. But here's some resin brood chambers. They'll line this chamber with the material. They'll provision it with some pollen. They'll lay an egg, and then that larva will grow in that chamber. And so there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, usually between 5 and 8 little brood segments. Here you can see one starting this year, and this is a leafcutter bee. And so they cut little pieces of leaf and use that to line their brood chamber. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can see from the garden. And if you're not too worried about holes in your leaves, you can kind of enjoy watching the insects and how they're utilizing your garden and different parts of those plants.
So you mentioned the leafcutter bee, and of course that one loves roses in particular, Mary Jane, which are roses a good idea in the garden for any reason, for anybody who has rose gloves in case you have to prune? Is that one of the ones you would suggest to people? Obviously not a monoculture, but...
I do have roses in my garden. They were there when I bought my property. And that's when I first noticed that I had leafcutter bees, because they went after those rose leaves. And another one they like is seedling ash trees. But I was noticing the holes in it, so I would go out and I would look. And they were so fast that I wanted to see where they were going, and they were just gone. But I would see the holes, so I knew that they were coming through, and so that was just so exciting. That I thought, I've got leafcutter bees. And so I think after a while, then you get over the damage, because they don't really affect the flowers. Sometimes they'll take petals, but it's usually the leaves, and the plants are fine. It doesn't hurt them at all.
Right. Well, and that's a fun one because it looks like a paper punch, which has happened. So, all right, you have all sorts of various other items here that have something to do with pollinators.
Yep, I mean, this was a block nest that actually has the petals, and it's a little bit red. You can't tell, but they've already emerged out of these holes. But you can also supply your garden with a little native bee nest that is constructed of little bamboo sticks. This is actually Phragmites.
Well, it's a good news for you.
Yeah, we removed it and had a lot of excess, so we cut them up and put them in a little housing area. Just keep in mind that we usually use bamboo sticks, but if you have an open tube like this, you want to have a backing to it so that these bees that are nesting in the stems aren't getting parasitized from the back, having to watch their backs for wasps and other predatory insects.
What a great project for kids to do.
It's wonderful.
Absolutely. So that really brings up another sort of an interesting concern people have, and that would be so many people are freaked out by bees. They don't want, and this is true even in schools. I know a lot of schools are wanting to do pollinator gardens, but then the next comment is, but we don't want bees. So this could potentially help counteract that. And you actually brought some bumblebees.
I did.
In a box.
Yes.
If you want to bring the bumblebee box up and open it, open one lid, not both lids, so we don't have to vacate.
All right.
And this is a great time, by the way, for those of you who are watching us on Facebook. We want your comments, we want your questions, we want to make sure that we are providing for you in Digging Deeper the kinds of information that you would like. So comment away and tell us what you like and what you don't. So there they go.
Yep, so these are bumblebees. These are underground nesting bees. So normally you would find them in the ground, or oftentimes sometimes this was actually taken from a compost pile. They like to find vacant rodent nests or loose grass piles to kind of burrow in there. So oftentimes if you're gardening and you hear buzzing and you disturb a nest, you'll know for sure.
Is that before you run?
Yes. Bumblebees do have stingers, and they don't lose their stingers, so they can sting over and over again. That's different than honeybees. Honeybees will sting once and they lose their stinger and they die. Most of these solitary bees, most of these other bees won't be stinging, and so these wild bee nests and native bee stem nests are great for your garden because you don't have to worry too much about.
They're not aggressive.
They're not aggressive. And when you're in the garden and you see bees foraging, they're not aggressive either because they're not defending a home. And so you don't have to worry about them. We encourage people not to swat at them because that will make them feel like you're threatening them or trying to kill them. So you just enjoy your garden, you let them fly around, they might buzz around your head just to investigate, and then that's it. Usually, unless you were threatening them, squashing them, smushing them, stepping on them, or kicking up their nest, they're typically, busy as a bee, just doing their thing.
So to speak.
Yes, exactly.
So Mary Jane, grab your flowers over here and talk a little bit about, there are people who think they have to be native plants for the pollinators to love them, and the research is proving otherwise. So again, it's that diversity, but talk a little bit about what you've got.
I've got a few natives here. We've got the penstemon, which is blooming now, so we've got a couple different types of penstemon. I've got some Monarda or bee balm, so bees love it. I also have a couple cone flowers, so they come in different colors, and the purple poppy mallow here. And then I realized I had a lot of pink, so I thought I'd better at least have a yellow, so I've got a blanket flower. And then just starting to bloom, not quite there yet, is Culver's root, which is one of my favorites. It's a real tall, real elegant plant for the landscape, so definitely one to consider. But like we were talking about, that you don't have to have just native plants. Something like tall sedum is very popular. If you remember a couple years ago, we had all those painted ladies. They love the tall sedum. So that is one that's really great to have in a pollinator habitat.
Well, and I know you mentioned earlier too that very early spring, and then certainly into spring for people who want fruit, need those, if it's not wind pollinated, which, most fruit trees are not wind pollinated, you've got to have those early pollinators. So having something else for them to enjoy is really a good idea. All right, so what can homeowners do to get more information, for starters, whether it is on the pollinators themselves or their habitat? What can they do to do that?
You want to start?
Yeah. We have a pollinator.
Habitat certification.
Thank you. A pollinator habitat certification program. And on there, we have a really nice list of plants. And it covers all the seasons, spring, summer, and fall. And so take a look at that list. And then if you decide that you want to certify, the application's right there. And we have nearly 80 sites in Nebraska. And so we're real excited about that. So many people are interested in starting pollinator habitats. So that is definitely, and it's located on the UNL entomology page, or you can do a web search for it. Also, the Lancaster County web page has a lot of stuff on pollinators, and Jody has put a lot of things on there for us. Also, a couple other sites that I like to go to is the Xerces Society, and also the Pollinator Partnership is another really good site to visit.
So you mentioned the Bee Lab or UNLV entomology.
You mentioned Xerces. I like this book. This is
awesome
Attracting
book.
Native Pollinators. This is an excellent one. And then I like the Bees in Your Backyard because it's just a fun little field guide for that. But there are a lot of sources that are available at UNLV Lab. Certainly, there are classes that you could take in terms of learning about pollinator habitats and then beekeeping. However, you don't need to learn how to keep honeybees in order to help, because we really encourage everyone to go out there and just plant nice, beautiful flowers that last, throughout the season. Having plants that supply pollen in the spring is really critical for the spring bees, because they use that pollen again for protein, but it really is to feed their brood and to really develop their colonies for the social bees like honeybees and bumblebees. And then the nectar sources are really critical throughout the season. So just having a lot of different types of flowers, the height, the color, the size, the shape, that will do a lot to attract as many of these different types of bees as possible, and pollinators, butterflies and that.
And if you want to see everything in action, of course, come to the Backyard Farmer Garden at all seasons, pretty much, because we have something starting always in even March or April, going well into the fall. And there's enough paths, I think, that people can, people who might have a little bit of fear of some buzzing insect can stay sort of in the middle of that path and watch and look and see what flowers are getting visited by what sorts of insects, and bring children, as you both said, and have them enjoy that so they're not afraid of that. And we will be doing more on pollinators on Backyard Farmer during the summer. I know, Mary Jane, you have is it relatively new, your pollinator habitat at Lancaster County?
We're about 6 years old. We have
So
a Cherry Creek pollinator habitat, which we've got native plants and some garden plants, insect hotel, and a solitary bee house. So yeah, it's about 6 years old. So
Wow, already.
yeah, it's been so much fun. Jody and I are out there as much as we can to enjoy it, because we just love to. And every week there's something new, so it's fun.
All right, and you guys will be sure that you always let us know of anything going on, and we will, of course, announce it on Backyard, or have people visit anything that you do too,
Absolutely,
Judy, on
yeah.
campus. So, all right, well, that is unfortunately all the time we have for Digging Deeper with Backyard Farmer tonight. You can watch a new Digging Deeper on Facebook every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Central. Do not miss Backyard Farmer Live every Thursday at 7 Central on NET. Thanks for digging deeper with those pollinators with Backyard Farmer.